Good morning. This is Richard Koss, DO, Osteopathic Physician, here at our Office of Traditional Osteopathic Medicine. This month we're going to talk about the thyroid gland, as everybody in the new year is worried about diet and all the wonderful things that happen during the holiday season, but the thyroid gland really needs to be looked at from both a physiologic but also a structural point of view. The thyroid gland is a master gland located in the neck. Here's the hyoid bone and the thyroid cartilage where the voice box is, and the thyroid gland is in the neck, little butterfly gland in front of the windpipe. And unfortunately, in the American diet, we get very little iodine, which is the main ingredient that supports the thyroid hormone. And the thyroid hormone is our, sets the speed at which our physiology functions, analogous to kind of like the heat in the furnace. And so the thyroid hormone tells how fast all of the organs should be working. And so it's very important for this gland to function properly. There is quite a bit of thyroid illness, from hypothyroidism or low functioning thyroid to a hyper or increased functioning thyroid, and thyroid diseases such as Graves' disease and autoimmune diseases of the thyroid gland, which is pretty rampant in this country at this time. And it's my opinion from a physiologic standpoint that iodine deficiency is one of the main causes. Now, we recommend here that you work with your primary care physician or your naturopath so that you can have your thyroid checked and your iodine levels checked and the thyroid hormone levels checked from that perspective. But in traditional osteopathic medicine, we are looking at the structural aspect of thyroid function. The thyroid is held in place by the fascia, that soft connective tissue wrapping that wraps around every organ, every artery, nerve, and vein, every muscle and muscle fiber, down to the actual supporting structure of each individual cell of every tissue in the body. Now, the importance of this fascia is that running through this fascial wrapping is the artery, the nerve, and the vein that is so important in proper functioning, nourishment to and drainage from, and the actual deposition of the thyroid hormone into circulation for it to function. So if this fascial wrapping gets damaged, traumatized, or irritated, then this can dramatically change and influence the proper functioning of our thyroid gland. Now, there are two structural issues that we work with in this office, and one is from neck injuries from, let's say, motor vehicle accidents, from sports injuries, whiplash injuries, and also from scar tissue from actual neck surgeries. Now, from spinal surgery of the neck, they typically will go through the front of the neck, right by the thyroid gland. And so that scar tissue over time will shrink and scar and can cause pulling or sensation on that thyroid gland and can influence its proper functioning. So any rapid acceleration or deceleration of the neck from any cause can subtly change the tension of this supporting fascia and the blood and circulation to the thyroid gland. The second situation that is a significant issue with the thyroid gland is posture. And that posture in this modern times is really concerning because we spend so much time on our tablets, on looking down, reading on Facebook, on our computers, on our desks. And so over time, we see a tremendous problem with posturing of the neck and upper back and shoulders. And the problem is what I call the 8-week rule. If you put your any part of the body in a static single position for over 8 weeks, that is your new normal. That is the default position. So if I turn sideways and I tilt my head forward in looking down posture, after 8 weeks, this is my new normal. And this tissue in the front of the neck will adaptively shorten so that when you come around in this forward posturing thing, you try to get your neck pulled upright and back, but it pulls on this fascia of the neck and can influence the function of the thyroid gland. Now, this fascia for the neck goes up under the jaw, goes up under the ear, goes all the way down to the rib cage, inside the rib cage, around the lugs, around the breastbone, all the way down to the respiratory diaphragm, and up into the scalp, and actually up into the meninges, or the connective tissue inside the skull as well. So this posturing of the neck has a tremendous sphere of influence of many different structures, but our focus is the thyroid gland, and that tension can shrink and tense the tissues around that thyroid gland. So in osteopathic medicine, that from a structural standpoint, we just don't look at the neck or the thyroid gland. We have to look at the posturing of the neck, the base of the skull, the position of the shoulders, the slumping of the shoulders or rib cage, and then how people sit in a chair in this slumped posture, so that all of these things need to help to be normalized so that we can have this perfect, proper posture and good blood flow and drainage to and from our thyroid gland. So that is what we address here at traditional osteopathic medicine from a pure structural standpoint, that when the structure is functioning as well as can be expected from the situation that the patient brings to the office, then that will improve the functioning of our thyroid gland. So with this in mind, we hope that you have a wonderful new year, and that you get working on your posture, working on your diet, so that we have proper iodine and good hygiene for our thyroid. We have good nutrients, and then from a structural standpoint, we can get those nutrients to the thyroid and drainage for healthy tissue in our thyroid gland. So I hope this helps. Look forward to talking to you again in our next video. Thank you.